What's up guys and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, J&O. Yes, it is back, and on this episode we go over my preview for Game Week 30 and also talk about the postponement for Manchester City versus Arsenal and what this may mean for the Fantasy Premier League and the Premier League in general in this video. But before we do that, do check out the sponsors of this video, OneFootball. OneFootball is the perfect app for fantasy football fans and fans of football for your iOS or Android device. It's the top link in the description down below, and you can customize it for your needs so you get alerts about the transfer news and the results that you need to know about straight to your phone. So check out again the top link in the description and let's get on with the video. So before we begin, let's quickly cover how I did in Game Week 29, and of course we went with captaincy on Aubameyang, which turned out to be the wrong decision. Could have kept Vardy for his point haul, transferred in Aubameyang instead, and he doesn't even have the double game week because of the postponement of the Manchester City-Arsenal game for health reasons concerning the Manchester City and Arsenal players. Salah would have also been a better captaincy choice with a goal in his game, and Barnes would have been the perfect captaincy choice, but let's be fair, I wasn't really going to go there, was I? Other than Salah and Barnes, the points came from my defence in Doherty and O'Connell, and bench players came in for the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Ayoze Perez. Aurier came in with 1 point, and Traore came in with 1 point. So really my team was carried by Harvey Barnes and my defence, with Salah chipping in as well. That means we dropped about 11k in places to 246,967th. Game week rank over 3 million, and we're now on 1,619 points after scoring 54 points in Game Week 29. And as you can see, the bench was pretty much irrelevant, so we shall move on. So, going into Game Week 30, my team needs a bit of work, especially with Game Week 31 around the corner, and especially with the uncertainty that is the Premier League season, as the issues around health of the players is a continued concern. And we can see that we got Pope in goal against Manchester City, which isn't the ideal fixture. And then a lot of away fixtures. Trent and Salah against Everton away. We've got Perez and Barnes against Watford away. Doherty against West Ham away. O'Connell against Newcastle away. De Bruyne has a home fixture against Burnley at home, but whether he plays or not is a bit of a concern. We have Aubameyang with Brighton Hove Albion away, and Ings with Norwich away, Calvert-Lewin with Liverpool at home. Looking at the bench as well, we've got Traore, Aurier and Rico with West Ham away, Man United at home and Crystal Palace at home. Not too fond of the Aurier fixture. I think Man United should be able to see past Tottenham, and Rico, Bournemouth are a bit of a concern, although I might take a punt on him getting a clean sheet in this one. And Traore is just a concern whether he will start or not. So moving forward, I am of course looking to prepare for Game Week 31, the blank game week, by getting in some more Wolves players, potentially getting a Burnley player, a West Ham player, a Spurs player, the likes of who are going to be most likely your Antonios, your Jared Bowens, maybe Dele Alli coming in to join Aurier, and then Dwight McNeil is my most likely punt if I do go for Burnley. We've also got Watford with Ismail Sarr, a potential. Gerard Deulofeu, of course, is a player I do like from that side, and even Crystal Palace with the likes of Ayew and maybe Van Aanholt as a punt, despite their fixture against Liverpool, could be something I consider, purely because Liverpool are shipping in goals at the moment. However, what I will say is my transfer will be very reactionary, because I have a feeling that the season could be up in the air. Fixtures could be put in all sorts of places that I'm not able to predict right now. So I will be listening very closely to all the news around the FPL and hopefully bring you the updates as soon as I possibly can on this channel as well. So if you want to keep up to date with all of the up and coming news around the Premier League and the Fantasy Premier League, do make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button as well. Supporting the channel always is very much appreciated. And in the comments down below, let me know how the Manchester City Arsenal postponement has affected your Fantasy Premier League season. Because, of course, we have now a bit of a backlog of fixtures for Manchester City and Arsenal. Manchester City and Arsenal were, of course, meant to play tonight when I'm recording this, but when you'll be watching this, it will be the day after Wednesday evening. And it was postponed because Arsenal players came into contact with the Olympiacos Chairman, who, of course, came down with the not to be mentioned because YouTube like to demonetize issue that has affected so many people so far. And of course, thoughts go out to anyone that is affected by what is currently happening out there in the wide world. It does mean now that Manchester City and Arsenal have 2 fixtures to be rearranged, and potentially they could have more, as both are still in the FA Cup. So Manchester City, of course, have their game against Arsenal, but then also an away game versus Chelsea to rearrange, and Arsenal also have a game against Southampton away to rearrange, with the likelihood of them possibly getting another postponed fixture because of their FA Cup progress. So we are now getting into uncharted territory where there could be a lot of postponed fixtures depending on what happens out of this postponement, because of course Arsenal did play West Ham, and that means West Ham could also be affected by what is happening currently, and we could see something similar to what is happening in Italy if the situation does worsen. We could get games that are played without fans attending behind closed doors, and we could see even discussion around the Premier League being stopped and other things like that. So chip strategy, which is something I've been making videos for you guys on, could drastically change if we hear any news about certain postponements and potentially the league ending early or carrying on for longer. Euro 2020 could also be affected. So it's a very unpredictable time in the FPL world, and to make the most of the chips that I've saved for potentially getting me a big boost in points and overall rank, now it might need to be played very, very differently, and potentially those that played it earlier could benefit from the fact that there may be no benefit to having held them for this long. So guys, let's discuss down in the comments down below exactly how this has all affected us. I'm here, of course, to answer all of your questions in the comments as well. The quicker you ask the questions, the more likely I'm to respond, as I will keep an eye on the video at the very beginning and try to respond as many questions as possible. So make sure to get them in early. Also, hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Right now, only 40% of you are subscribed to the channel, so imagine the 60% of you that are watching subscribed as well. That would be awesome, and I'd love you guys for it. Also, check out the top link in the description for OneFootball, who have sponsored the channel recently. Thank you to them for the support. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.